What up, Salvador Brakeman here. Welcome back to the Crowdfunding Demystified podcast. On this show, we get into the inner workings of successful Indiegogo, Kickstarter, and other types of crowdfunding campaigns. Because if you want to get your project out there, whether you have a physical product, your creative type, or even if you've invented something new, you got to know what other people are doing in order to have widely funded, successful campaigns. And that's exactly why I started this podcast in 2015. We've gotten to more than 500 episodes, and every single week, we bring on a new entrepreneur and a new inventor. I love doing this show for y'all. And, for me, I think the most important thing is not only that you're getting access to the right education and information, but you also have mentors, you have people that you can look up to who really are achieving goals that I think that for many of my coaching students all want to go towards as well. Controlling the voices that you listen to is so gosh darn important. And that's why in today's podcast episode, I actually brought on an extremely successful entrepreneur who's built 2 different brands on Kickstarter, who has launched 5 campaigns on Kickstarter as well. Many of them being able to get into the bigger digits here. We're talking 6-figure campaigns, really exciting. And he actually got his first start in, I think it was 2013 with his initial campaign, which raised over $450,000 on Kickstarter. So $500,000 basically. Pretty wild. So you can hear a lot in this episode. Number one, you're going to learn about the power of storytelling and this individual's approach to that. You're also going to hear what he learned across these 5 successful campaigns, some of the ways that Kickstarter has changed over the years. And for anyone who's getting started, what you got to do specifically if you're a beginner, if you want to be successful on the platform. And I guess a bonus would be the fact that we talked about the types of products that are a good fit on Kickstarter and those that are not. So a lot of value-packed information on this episode. And going into 2025, I hope that you are stoked, man. I hope that you are excited. And if you want to start off this year on the right foot, I have an incredible resource for you that I'm about to share with you. This is a free resource for anyone out there who wants to crush their goal with their crowdfunding campaign. If you want to make the most use of your time out there being live and you want access to the tactics, the techniques, the tools, the tricks, and going into that campaign, go and check out my free course on Kickstarter at crowdcrux.com/Kickstarter. That link is crowdcrux.com/Kickstarter, crowdcrux.com/Kickstarter. We'll take you there, and you'll be able to enter your name and email and join and enroll in my free course. In addition, if you kind of want the textbook or the guide or the blueprint that accompanies that free course, I have another book out there, which is also free on Audible. You can listen to me because I'm a crazy mofo, read that book, be really passionate about it, and make sure that sinks in, whether you're on the way to work, you're going to the gym, you're cleaning the room, you're cleaning the garage because the wife asked you to, right? You can go and you can listen to that book, the Kickstarter launch formula, which is available on Audible. The link there is crowdcrux.com/Kickstarter audio. That link is crowdcrux.com/Kickstarter audio. That link will take you there, and you can get a free copy of the Kickstarter launch formula at crowdcrux.com/Kickstarter audio. All right, man, let's dive into today's podcast episode and discover the lessons for crowdfunding success that have come over the course of 5 campaigns. For today's guest, it's coming up right after this. Hey guys, welcome back to the Crowdfunding Demystified podcast. And we're speaking with a multi-successful Kickstarter campaigner. This individual most recently raised over $91,000 for the modern Turkish coffee pot, but he also has a lot of experience having launched multiple campaigns, getting started with the goat mug, the original goat story crafted into a coffee mug. And we are lucky enough to have the creator here today. Anze, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for inviting me. Really enjoyed talking about Kickstarter and all the campaigns. Thanks for having me.
So maybe you could fill in the gaps in that introduction. Just let the listeners know a little bit more about you and also your brand here.
Actually, I'm owning not just one brand, but actually there are 2 brands. And one brand that is maybe more famous from the Kickstarter is Goat Story. And with Goat Story, we are doing everything around coffee, like this new wave of specialty coffees. And we always surprised with some products that are not some kind of similar stuff on the market. So we try to innovate, try to bring something new. And with the first campaign, it was really a lot of it went viral product because it was so different, and the story was like told really well in a different way. And then I have another brand that is Aqua, so like Eco Aqua. So it's a lot of different water bottles, like also smart solution of hydration, supplements, and so on. So it's like different brand that is focusing more on health, lifestyle.
Right. How would you describe yourself? Would you say that you are a designer, an entrepreneur, an engineer, an inventor? How would you really describe yourself?
This is hard one. So I really enjoy crafting new products, sometimes even like in too many details. And I just learned in last 10 years that even like from entrepreneurial success, this is not the best way to go. And I also spent too much money on some developments. Yeah, I mostly enjoy like crafting new stuff. So that definitely. And in last 10 years, I was crafting more or less physical hardware products, but I'm also interested in future, and I'm just developing like the new things that I'm developing at the moment are also some software and some digital products, I could say.
Is this your full-time pursuit? Do you have a team? Can you just share a bit of behind the scenes of your work there?
Yeah, we are located in Europe, in Slovenia, and this is like a team of 30 people. I started company like 14 years ago, and I managed to build a team of 30 people. We are mostly the strongest. We are selling in Europe, and all other markets are then Asia and Middle East, and we don't sell a lot in US, but still we are shipping also in US, but we are not so strongly present in US markets with like some strong local marketing campaigns, influencers, and so on.
Now, a lot of people who have had, e-commerce success, they may or may not choose to continue to go back to Kickstarter, go back to crowdfunding. Why is that something that you continue to go back to with these multiple products and brands? Why have you always been drawn back to Kickstarter?
Actually, during the years, even before Kickstarter, I launched like many products, not many, but like few products. And also during the Kickstarter campaigns, sometimes I choose Kickstarter and sometimes I just don't choose Kickstarter for the launch. So definitely, I know that some products work much better when they're on a Kickstarter. And if I can tell the story in a way that this fit for Kickstarter community, definitely I would choose Kickstarter, but not always. So, and I can remember back in days, like I'm talking this like an old guy, but still, I remember that I was like, at the beginning, I was really rejected from Kickstarter. Like it was like, I don't know, like 2013 or even maybe at the end of 2012, I was like twice rejected with my products on Kickstarter. There was like time, maybe a lot of even your listeners cannot remember, but at the beginning, Kickstarter was like really picky if the products and campaign is good enough. And even was hard to know, but even my campaigns were even at the beginning, Cockit products, the first, I was like really young, was not like perfect made campaigns, and I was rejected, and I didn't know why I was rejected, and because they were not communicating why the campaign is not
right. I'm sure it's confusing, a bit frustrating.
Yeah, definitely it was. But at the end, then I was like even more motivated, and I was like really putting the goal that I want to do it, and I was even crafting the some of the products that would fit Kickstarter so well, because I was having like, even when you're rejected, then you want something even more.
Yeah.
So.
So, I mean, the golden question is, what is a product that you believe is a good fit for Kickstarter versus one that's not? Do you have any thoughts on that?
Oh, I would even say that it's even not about products, but it's even more how you tell story. It's really good format because people will even listen you for not just 20 seconds, but they will take even maybe 1 minute and a half if you start telling the story like really well. So that's it can be just some game, and you can maybe make prototype just out of the paper, like really, really fast, or even some totally new technology that is even sometimes backers hard to believe that someone will deliver. So I would even say that the story and how you craft the story, how you connect those dots are even more important than the product itself.
I think story is something that's very elusive because we think about storytelling and it's like, okay, this is what happened. I had an idea and like, I got this together. What do you mean when you say the story behind the product? Is it the meaning? Is it the functionality, the materials? Like, what do you mean by the story?
It's definitely not like the materials, and always it's asking not what, but even like going like Steve Jobs and everything on a why level. And it is the hardest thing because there, like with the story, there is no rules. And it is so hard to say what will work and not, and to put some wireframe on it. It's definitely super hard. But I would say that for a product that are not enough innovative, that maybe and not having like enough like better story, that product that exist already on the market, then why should someone like back product on the Kickstarter, wait like additional months and even not getting product so much cheaper? So that is the game. So that you as a founder, like you're bringing like also people in the whole development closer, also that they know story, they know something more about you. So that's why, and also in every campaign that we were launching, I was also a front person. I was telling the story, like as a founder,
Right.
not someone else. So I think this is like also really, really important. And even sometimes can be products that already exist on the market, and you're just telling a better story why like some competitors are maybe evil, or you're doing this in a better way. Doesn't need to be different material, and you will get some niche who will support you. This is but you also need to know who you're targeting and how to talk to this niche population that you're targeting.
The other thing I noticed just looking at your campaigns, I think they're beautiful. I mean, you have great design and a really good eye for photography and, all these elements. Is this almost this concept of like minimalism and being just more intentional with, the purchases that you're making in your life and what you're choosing to use, whether that's drinking water or brewing coffee, and being more intentional about that. Do you think there's an element of minimalism when it comes to that, or is that just something that happens across your campaigns?
I think usually this is not that, but in general, I think that maybe the companies from Europe, that we were like always like having different aesthetics, and maybe even like more touch for aesthetic, but maybe lacking in a language, and like especially like the biggest market, like US markets, and even sometimes with a storytelling that is definitely not our strongest, especially because English is not our native language, and we have like a lot of disadvantages on this field. But with design, with aesthetic, usually a lot of European companies, we know how to do it like really well, and that's some differences that we have to from Europe, that we maybe need to even put more attention on it.
Interesting. Being in the game for such a long time, since I think you said 2013 until now, has it changed very much? Is it similar? What do you feel like the difference has been from your first campaign to the one most recently?
It is like with every stuff, I think it's the same, because sometimes some things change a lot, but like those basic things stay totally the same. So it's still the great story will win, and that's it. But from like of course, I think the Kickstarter was on a peak with the popularity, maybe 2000, I would say 17, 18, something like this. And at the beginning, with my first campaign, 2014, with a GoatMag, we didn't use advertising. We managed to raise more than $500,000 without spending like dollar for advertising. So campaign was like also really, really profitable, and everything went actually viral. So we were like just more or less looking what will happen and maybe sending emails to some PR companies and to some media companies, more or less, and to get some article. And from those articles, we could see that, we got so many orders. But today the game is, of course, still we have to get people attention. And this is not from PR, but from advertising. So you have to pay for it. But still, if you have a good story, the conversion will come. And it's even easier. So it's the wireframe, what to do. It's even more simple. You need less things, but just profitability. I think it's not so great. The viral effect of Kickstarter it's not so strong that it was back then, but yeah.
If you're worried about the fulfillment and shipping part of your Kickstarter campaign when it comes to getting out all those perks and rewards to your backers, rest assured I've put together a complete Kickstarter fulfillment and shipping checklist for you, and it's free. This is sponsored by the folks at Fulfillrite, and they thought that you should have this checklist as part of your arsenal going into a crowdfunding campaign. If you want to get instant access to this checklist and it's free, you can go to fulfillrite.com/checklist. Again, that is fulfillrite.com/checklist, fulfillrite.com/checklist. Just go to that link and you can download it immediately. And, the good thing, we've seen more changes when it comes to Kickstarter in the past year, and that's probably due to the new leadership change around the company. So we're seeing more functionality, but I agree with you. For many years, the functionality didn't really change. And I do think there's an element of virality that we're looking to have, injected back into the platform. It's great that, digital marketing, paid ads, and those kind of things are working well for you. Are there any advices that you would give to someone who's just kind of getting started now when it comes to doing their launch?
I think it is important that they just start like some experiment before launching campaign. You can like really just shoot TikTok that you're just thinking to doing like this product, what people will think, and inviting people to go on your journey, to go on a journey with you, like from really, really beginning, like from just idea. And then people, so that you're building in a public, so that people go with you in a brainstorming, in developing and everything, that you're just like really, even today, if you're just thinking about starting about a new Kickstarter campaign, just share it with your friends on social media, and you will learn how to do it, and you will get support, you will get opinion on the way. You can ask people, and you're not like, you don't need to be alone like at this development phase. You just immediately, you can have like followers, and you can test the product, you can test your story, creativity, and you will learn a lot. And I think even in this way, you cannot fail.
So I got to ask you one question related to that. I think, well, for one, I agree with you, but I do think we're going to get some people who are like, but what happens if someone steals my idea, man? What happens if someone tries to rip me off? Like, it's such a different way of thinking, building in that way. What would you say to that person?
Actually, we are all stealing. Like I was even before, and I really try to be innovative. You can check my campaigns that are like totally different, but we all know that we are always copying from each other. And today, even copying, you can even say that you will copy someone, and people will really don't care. Even if you say, I will copy the same product, but my story is in a different way, and people will still support you, and people will still buy it for you if they will think that your story is better, that you're more honest, that you're closer to them, and they connect you with you in another way or in a better way. So I think you can always find excuse, but it's really, there never been like so many options and so many opportunities that there are today. So with any kind of product, it's just immediately, if you're going to B2C market, so you have to learn how to get audience on your side, how to tell story. And it is the best that you're starting with day one, not waiting, and really to have audience that can help you build a product, it's even better.
Well said. Well said. I got to ask you, I think because it would be a huge opportunity, not to, it would be a missed opportunity, would be, in thinking about this, how do you decide which ideas you should run with versus the ones that end up becoming products? Because you have such a suite of products and brands. How do you decide which ones to act on versus the ones you don't? Is there a process that you go through, or is that more organic?
I was really, if you would ask me like this, like 5 years ago or even 10 years ago, I would say that I have like special touch, that I have my gut, that it's incredible good, that I don't need to ask anyone. And this actually cost me a lot because we all get wrong. And today, this mentality and this way of thinking is like really stupid, because you can test everything so fast and so cheap that would be like really, really wrong to start something not to test before. So maybe if you're like really old company that you're doing like the tires, for example, like for 100 years, and that you're just developing a new new tire for 2026, of course you don't need to test. That people want to have better tire and
Right.
or something better. But if you're just start at beginning, like searching for product market fit, you need to test it. Even if you don't, if you're so shy that you don't want to go public, just choose market that no one knows you, like just advertise, like film create one TikTok video that and advertise just in a city or a different country that no one knows you, and you will get results.
So kind of being willing to get some data, it sounds like, is your approach, right? And really getting in contact with potential customers as soon as possible.
Yeah, definitely. And you trust me, I learned this like also with like hundreds of thousands euros or dollars of mistakes that I made on this way. So because I thought that I know everything.
One other question I have for you, and again, I think this is just on many people's minds that are just getting started. Once you begin to evolve your business model beyond Kickstarter, I mean, you have sales online, direct to consumer, you have maybe Amazon or some other marketplace, you have wholesale. What do you think is the most or the biggest piece of the pie? Or do you have any thoughts of like a breakdown where 30% is coming from this and 40% is coming from that? Do you have any thoughts on what that looks like and how a company should grow in that way?
I think still there is not a right answer for this. Usually I think every entrepreneur, like on the way, when you see like where the most money coming in, then you start focusing in this segment. I would say that if it's possible to de-risk just online sale, go like with a offline. So for us, something that is like really stable, works really well, that we have also offline distribution, and still majority of our income, like 60-70%, came from classic retail, design shops, retail, and this like really also stable part that we are having. And it's like a recurring revenue, because those, when you're on the shelf, the stores are always ordering the new things that we are launching. But then you have to have like really strong also online appearance, and with this online appearance, of course, performance marketing, ads, and it's a great opportunity to if you tell a good story with some viral potential, you can get like a lot of online sales, of course.
Right. Well said. Well said. Awesome, man. Where should I send people? Where can they go to learn more about your most recent campaign and also some of your other projects? Where should we send them here?
We are having two websites. So one brand is Goat Story, goat-story.com. So this is like, especially if you're a coffee lover, you want to have like different coffee experience. We are here, one of the best what we are doing in this category. And then is like category for wellness, healthy lifestyle. This is Equa. So myequa.com is the webpage. And we are really focusing on hydration, healthy lifestyle, and I believe that we are doing also really great in this category.
Awesome. I'll make sure to link those up in the show notes. So I have one or two more questions for you. The first would be, I think that you're only as good as sometimes your tools that you have access to. Are there any software tools that you would recommend that people check out that could be on the marketing side, that could be on the management side, or any kind of ones that come to mind that you think have been very useful in your journey?
I would say that I'm using like a lot more that before I was not checking so much what other companies are doing, but I'm using like more and more like following trends and following what also others are doing, like searching for inspiration. So definitely Ads Manager, what kind of creative advertising other companies are having, then checking like how many creatives are, like even sometimes some spy tools to see how much someone is spending, how big potential are those products, checking how many users are having some business, some websites, how many visits on the website, because
Right.
those tools and visits, it can like give you a lot of information how popular one thing is. And before going in a new category, new product, it's also great to see that some competitors are doing like really well. And then, okay, you can say, oh, if they are doing so well and they are growing so well, and if I have even better idea, even better story, why not to try?
Well said. Well said. And my final question for you, and then we can end on this note. We can either end with a word of encouragement for other creators out there, a quote that you like that you've heard someone say, or a book recommendation. We can end on any of those.
I was like really reading a lot of books about storytelling lately, and one of the best is definitely Storyworthy. And from same author, also the next one is how to sell, or I cannot. Yeah, I think it's something like this. And the author is, let me just check. Yeah, the Matthew Dix is the author of this book, and the guy is old school storytelling, but the rules are totally the same. That was what I was trying to say before, that some things, even we see that are changing really fast, but in basic, still all the things are staying the same. With the storytelling, it was like even 100 years ago, or maybe 30 years ago, when Hollywood was filming the movies, that the storytelling is the same as today when you're shooting like TikTok. So everything's staying the same.
Awesome. I'll try to link that up in the show notes. Thank you so much, man, for coming on the show. Really appreciate it. And good luck with your next launch.
Cool. Thank you for inviting me. Good luck with your, I think it's a great show, encouraging others. So good luck with everything.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Crowdfunding Demystified podcast. My name is Salvador Brigman, and this is my passion, dude. I not only do want to codify this and demystify this for you, but I want to make it easier for you to go out there to kick ass and to get your campaign funded, to get your products out there to the world, whether you're an author, a filmmaker, a designer, a theater individual, an actor, or even someone who's really trying to invent something new and put that and to build a brand in today's global world. So I hope that you enjoyed today's episode. I certainly learned a lot when it comes to storytelling and the power behind that, and some great recommendations when it comes to that. If you really believe that this podcast is worth your time, give me a second, take a second to just leave a positive rating and review on iTunes. That would be so incredible for me, because then other people know this is worth their time. The other thing I would say is that some people, when they listen to this show, they're like, gosh, I am so freaking pumped up. But at the same time, I just need a little bit more process, Sal. I need a little bit more hand holding. I need a little bit more guidance. And I'm not ashamed to admit that. Like, I have an ego, obviously, and I want to get this out there, but I know that I don't know what I don't know. And I want to make sure I build a team. I want to make sure I do this right and dot my I's and cross my T's and build a strong foundation. For those of you out there, this is a great option I'm about to mention, is that I make myself available to my podcast listeners via individual one-on-one coaching calls. These are intensive coaching calls that are designed to be one-off, that go through the inner workings of your upcoming campaign. You could book that call 6 months in advance to make sure that you're on the right path, you have the right trajectory. The sooner you book, usually I can make a couple of minor adjustments and make sure you go into that campaign right, and you don't waste time, you don't waste money, and you really have the straightest path to success. I also have people that are booking the call when they're going live tomorrow, or they're already live and they're panicking and like, Sal, I need some help with this, right? You can go and book an individual intensive coaching call with me. Or if you've even already done crowdfunding and you want to have a bigger success this next time around with that Kickstarter, that Indiegogo campaign launch. I also coach when it comes to things like charity crowdfunding, nonprofit crowdfunding, and equity crowdfunding as well. If you want to raise investment capital for your company using equity crowdfunding, we talk about all of that. And all you have to do is go to this link I'm about to mention and book your individual one-on-one coaching call today to set your campaign up for success at that link, crowdcrux.com/coaching. I know it's a little bit intimidating, but all you got to do is go to that link, crowdcrux.com/coaching. If you want to be wowed, I have a great, beautiful video on that website there at crowdcrux.com/coaching. Fill out a little bit of information. Tell me more about you, what you're trying to accomplish, what your goals are, where your target is, and we can get that call scheduled ASAP at crowdcrux.com/coaching. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. If you do nothing else, if you take away nothing else, take some action this week, move towards your goals with confidence, and continue to be like a sponge, absorbing all of the crowdfunding nuggets of gold. Thank you so much. My name is Salvador Brigman, and I'll see you next time.